Bonjour YouTube, welcome back to our channel. I don't know why I did the whole Spice Girls thing. Welcome to our episode where we talk about life in France, give tips on life and travel in this beautiful country. And today we're going to be discussing the mistakes that the foreigners do when they move to France. So, on y va. So when people move to France, you can't expect them to know things. You can't expect them to, to be ready for everything. But we believe that there is a lot you can find through channels like ours. And of course, we're here to help. So the first mistake that people make when they move to France, and I think this one is kind of important and very frequent as well, is that they think that they can get by with English alone without learning the French language. It's a big mistake. Yes, you can get stuff done in France that's like surface sort of stuff. You can get it done in English, of course, especially in the tourism area, or if you want to go out, get drinks, whatever, people will be okay with you. But, if you are moving here to live here, or if you're here for a certain amount of years, whether you want to study or work, whatever, you really need to learn the language. It brings you closer to the community, it brings you closer to the people who live here. At least try, learn the language. The earlier you start, the better. People will they will be more likely to open up to you, they'll be more likely to help you, or they'll be more likely to just become friends with you. So try to learn the language, try to at least progress or show people that you're trying. It really helps. It really will help you in everyday life. Mistake number 2 that people make is that they stick with their own communities. When people come here, they tend to find their own communities. There are communities for expats, there are communities for the Americans, there are communities for Europeans, there are communities for the Asians, and everyone, okay? You can always find your own community based on your nationality or, your cultural sphere. It's a good thing to know people, of course. It's a good thing to have something to rely on sometimes or ask for help from sometimes. It's really good, yes, but at the same time, it can be a double-edged sword where it basically sucks you in and you stay within this community. That could be a problematic situation for you later on, because you basically will be just living in your own country where you come from, but physically you will be somewhere else, or in this case in France. So it's always good to open up to other communities, open up to the locals, open up to, open up your own boundaries, open your mind up completely and then just absorb whatever is around you. It's good, it helps, it works. Plus you learn and you discover new amazing things. Next mistake people do is that they are not ready for the French bureaucracy. It could be extremely demanding. It could be extremely difficult to navigate. And oftentimes, a lot of people just lose it. They just lose their mind when they deal with it. I personally have experienced it on my own, and I have experienced it with Sinan, and Sinan experienced it as well, but our experiences were very different. And for me, it was an experience that taught me how to be really patient and taught me how to be really understanding. Just follow the steps as you're meant to follow, and there are no shortcuts for anything. It takes time to open your bank account. It takes time to get your residency card. It takes time to, to get the internet at home. Or to find an apartment. That's a different story. We made a video about it. Look up. Just be ready, be prepared for that. And I find that many people find themselves caught in the middle of all of this and they're not prepared. So the next mistake that people make when they move to France is that they think that things can be done quickly over here. You gotta give people time to get anything done for you over here. And personally, the longer I live here, the more I become like that as well. Like, I don't expect people to be rushing me, and I don't rush them either. Doesn't mean that I'm slow. I'm not slow. We just don't go crazy. At least not in my experience. I haven't found it yet that people would be running and just getting everything. No. Things take time here, and it's okay. So you gotta be ready for that. You gotta be ready to understand that, for instance, you won't be able to open a bank account in a day, or you won't be able to, install internet or install electricity in your house very quickly, or get a plumber to come and fix things up quickly. Doesn't often happen, you know what I mean? And then for the whole carte vitale, for instance, your health insurance, that's a whole other subject. We made a video about it as well. All of these things take time. So prepare for that. prepare for that things take time in France. And that's okay. That's just how things are. It's another mistake that people make when they move to France, especially if they move to Paris. Actually, this is for Paris specifically. They move to Paris, they love the city, and then they don't explore anything around it. Some of the areas in the Parisian region, just around it, are absolutely stunning. This is where you find amazing castles, medieval towns, medieval villages, towns that are just absolutely gorgeous. Versailles is one of them, by the way. Versailles is not inside Paris. So if you want to know more about it, check out the playlist if you want. It's for Ile-de-France region. You can check out the places where you can visit. It's absolutely stunning. So the final point is thinking that the postal service works without any issues. Especially, like, people complain a lot about it, but I will tell you from my personal experience, there have been situations where they either lose it, or they don't know where your shipment is, or they respond to you saying, oh yeah, we're sorry, but we don't know, like we can't do anything about it, or they try to blame you for things, you know, like, so don't expect it to work perfectly. And yeah, they try to make things look like nothing is wrong. So try to be careful with the post office. When you are sending important documents, when you're here, try to use lettre recommandée. It's like it's a bit more expensive, but basically what happens is that the letter has paper stuck to it, so it goes out to the destination, and then the person at the destination has to sign it for you, and then this paper returns to you, and that way you have the proof that the letter arrived. In case the destinataire says, no, we didn't receive it. No, you have received it, we know it. So those things are important for the documents. You can also send a letter and follow it online. It's called suivi. It's a cheaper option, and if it gets lost, it gets lost. But at least you know at which point it got lost. And of course there is the regular one that no one cares about, and that one is the one that may get lost, I don't know. And funny enough, some banks send the cards with those letters. Can you imagine? Anyway, so I hope this video was useful to you, and let us know if you like this kind of series, if you like the videos on tips and about life here, or tips if you're traveling here, and yeah, we would really appreciate your feedback. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining us. Au revoir.